Yo, what's good people? Today we're going to be talking about Raven. So I just want to break Raven down for you in the simplest way possible, because again, like Victor, Raven can be very overwhelming. So if we take a look at his move list, he has around 120 moves. Yeah, 1 2 3. So he has a lot of fluff in his move list. I would say useless fluff that you don't actually need to use. So I'm going to break Raven down. So Raven has good space control with his movement. He still retains a good backdash from Tekken 7, and his sidestep was buffed obviously through Tekken 8, and that's kind of universal. So he has decent movement for a male character. He's a very mix-up heavy character, so strings like this. So Raven can be very annoying if you use him correctly. He has pretty decent lows. Look at the range of that low. Good range lows. This low is probably his best low now, honestly. Or this one. It's pretty much, I'm not gonna call it broken, but it's very good. So yeah, Raven has good space control. He's got good mix-ups, he's got good pokes, he has decent lows. So Raven is kind of an all-round character, and they really did iron out his weaknesses, or her weaknesses, from Tekken 7, because she did have some holes in the game where I feel like Tekken 8 is a much more complete Raven. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to talk about what moves to use in neutral. So in previous games, I would say to gravitate towards down back 2. Now actually, I think down forward 1 is his best mid now, because you can't actually step down forward 1. It just tracks to both sides. So this move is really good, and not to mention they gave him a new extension, down forward 1-4, which is used for his 14 frame punish, because down forward 1 is 14 frames. 38 damage, which is just crazy. So that's down forward 1. Now let's talk about down back 2. Down back 2 is his easiest way to get into back turn. So his back turn stance is very strong. Now the easiest way to get into it is down back 2, and this has good range, and it tracks sidestep left, so you can't step this move to the left. It fully tracks that way, so you have to sidestep right this move. This move is excellent because it has a lot of range, and yeah, it's his easiest way to get to back turn. Now let's talk about how to get out of back turn, because that's one thing that people don't know how to do, and that's why Raven can be overwhelming, is because you can get stuck into stance. So if you do down back 2, just press back 3+4. I'm going to put the inputs on so you can see it. So down back 2, back 3+4, because back 3+4 is his manual cancel. So any move that's in back turn, you can just cancel it with back 3+4. So don't feel like you have to just mash out a back turn every time. You don't have to always mash. You don't always have to just press random buttons. You can just stay safe and press back 3+4. That's the biggest tip I'll give beginner Raven players. Don't mash when you're in back turn. It takes time to understand his back turn, and that's why it's so strong, because when you understand how to use it, it's really scary. The reason why it's easy to beat a lot of Raven players is because they don't know how to use back turn. So it's easy to kind of force them out of it, or force them to mash and punish them for mashing out of back turn, because they don't know how to control the stance. So one thing I will say is, to get out of back turn, just press back 3+4, and that goes for every move that's in back turn. Back 3+4, back 3+4. So that's a manual cancel out of back turn. So that's really important to know. Another move I would suggest using is 3-3. So they actually made this move +5 on hit now in Tekken 8. So that's a buff. And also it has an extension. Oh, let's go back a little bit. This will counter hit launch now. So the opponent kind of has to think twice about stepping or pressing after this move. So the mind game behind this is really nice. You can also cancel 3-3-4 with back to go into back turn. But like, let's say for example you punish someone, or you whiff punish someone with this, you can go into back turn. And more often than not, they're not going to press. So that will open you up for back turn mix. So yeah, 3-3 is really good. Same with standing 3, has the same frames, but this move is really good because it jails. So it's mid-high. I literally turned everything off for B-roll and stuff. So I'm going to turn everything back on. So 3-3, as you can see, is +5, and it's mid-high. So if you block the first hit, you can't duck the second hit. So that's one move I would say to use in neutral. The next move to use in neutral is forward 2-3. Now, they made this move safe in Tekken 8. So this was -10 before in Tekken 7. And now it's safe. It's pretty much Raven's best move in neutral, I would say, along with down forward 1. Down forward 1 and forward 2, 3 are his best moves in neutral because they made it safe now. Like, and it's +6. And you can transition into his new soul zone stats, which is 3+4, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. One move that can close a distance and counter hit is while standing 2. That's the combo you would do in Tekken 7. Now this combo in this game is something like that. So while standing 2 is just excellent. You close the distance well. It's safe. And it's +8 on block. Has barely any pushback anymore, because this move used to push them really far back, so sometimes you wouldn't be able to get down 4. So this is literally a free mix now. I think it might push back less than the CBT, to be honest. So yeah, this is free. 3 is free. Down back 2. They basically can't mash after this, so it's just a good mid check. I think Raven's best lows are down 4. So quite a high damaging low, 18 damage. It doesn't do anything on counter hit significant, but it just gives you extra plus frames, and it leaves you in crouch. So like after this, you can do a mix, something like that, or you can just backdash, because you don't have to press after every interaction. You can just backdash or sidestep. So that's down 4. Down 4 is really good. Down 3 is just a poke low. They gave it a new animation in Tekken, the full build of Tekken 8, because it didn't look like this in the CBT. The big thing is this move is now -11 on block. So that's a buff, because in the CBT it was -12. It's always just good to have a -11 poke low. If I wanted to do really far range down 4, like from here, let's say here. So look at the range. So you can actually extend moves using crouch dash. You just need to practice a little bit, because it can be a bit weird at first. So that's down 3. Now his last low I want to talk about, that's I think very well might be his best low. So in full crouch you press down forward 3. Now this low was previously from Haze, but they got rid of Haze, they scrapped it, so they gave it in full crouch. So this is what it does on counter hit. And actually it's really interesting because this move is safe on block. -9 on block.
I saw that.
You can parry him, because Raven's parries are I1, which means they start up in 1 frame. So both these parries are I1.
I saw that.
So they have to think twice about retaliating here. So yeah, that's full crouch down for 3. It's just a sick low. So you can't power crush, but you can parry. So excellent low.
I saw that.
So yeah, as I said, this low is very good because it's -9 on block, +2 on hit. So you can fish for back on G-Clef. You can frame trap with this. This is not a frame trap, but if they press anything slower than a jab, they're going to get counter hit knocked down as well, which looks like this. We'll cover back turn in a little bit, but this is what the counter hit knockdown looks like. And then you get forward 2. Same with back turn. So yeah, I think those are all the moves I want to cover in neutral. Because Raven has so many, I just wanted to give you a few to just pick up and play Raven. But definitely, the one thing to take away from this video in neutral is down forward 1 tracks both sides now, and forward 2, 3 save. Those are his best moves in neutral. Maybe 3, 3 as well you could throw in there. His mids anyway. His lows, down 4, down 3, and full crouch 3. Those are his best lows. So let's cover Soul Zone real quick. So a few ways to get into Soul Zone are 1, 2, 3+4. So to get into it manually, just press 3+4. So 1, 2, 3+4, QCF 3+4, 4, 2, 3, 3+4, down back 2, 1, 3+4. So he has a few ways to get into it. Let me just mention down back 2. The reason why I said to use down back 2 is not just for back turn, it's for conditioning, because he has strings from down back 2. So he has down back 2, 1, which is hard to duck and launch, and he has down back 2, 1, 1, which is his new kind of clone attacks, which is also safe in heat. If I cancel heat, look at the chip damage, and it's safe. It's -3 on block. So this move in heat is really good, and this goes for all of his heat attacks. But we're going to talk about the clone and the heat attacks in a separate portion of the video. So let's go back to Soul Zone stance. Soul Zone completely replaces Haze, and I think it's just a way better stance. So let's start off with Soul Zone 1. So Soul Zone 1 is just a quick poke, and you can do back 1, which goes into Soul Zone. So this move is +7 on block, which is crazy, force crouch. So this would be a good one to check your opponent if they wanted to mash or if they wanted to step. This is excellent for it. Same with this one. But this isn't actually a frame trap. So this would trade with a while standing 4, for example. So this one is good if you want to frame trap people. So is this one, because this is a frame trap as well. Now he has an extension from Soul Zone 1, which is Soul Zone 1-4. And you can delay it a little bit. That was slightly delayed, so you can delay it just to catch timing. So that's Soul Zone 1-4. Now, he can do crouch dash from Soul Zone as well. So Soul Zone 1 forward. So this would be useful if you wanted to cancel QCF2 or do, I don't know, anything you want from crouch dash. And this is loopable. See? So Soul Zone 1 is actually very good. Let's move on to Soul Zone 2. So Soul Zone 2 is a really long range mid. Heat engager. It's good to throw out and catch kind of just movement and just catching them ducking really. It's just to throw out mid. It's safe. So why not? It's a heat engager, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is a heat engager. So the interesting thing about this move is that you can actually hit confirm it. So once you see it hit like this, you hold forward. And that's really good because you don't want to waste your heat dash. So you can visually confirm it hitting and then hold forward. So that's just one thing to know about Soul Zone 2. So that's Soul Zone 2 in a nutshell. Soul Zone 3. Let's talk about Soul Zone 3. Okay, so this is low-key one of his best moves because look at the range. It has the same frames on block as down back 2. So it essentially is a longer range down back 2. That low crush is, by the way, because it's a jumping attack. So this will jump over lows. Soul Zone 3 is very good. +5 puts me to back turn. And obviously, yes, you can cancel it and get back out of back turn if you don't want to do anything with back turn. Now, this move has an extension. Soul Zone 3-2. Which is just his new screw kind of move. This move is really sick for combos and just combo versatility. I think it's just a really good screw attack. So that's Soul Zone 3-2. Mainly you would use it just for screw attacks or maybe wall carry. But personally, I use this for wall carry. Yeah, I prefer to use this. Just because it's easy to access in combos like after you use screw. So yeah, that's Soul Zone 3-2. Again, just use as a tailspin move or a tornado screw attack. I don't actually know what the proper notation is. But you see that red symbol where it says special mid, like the kind of corkscrew, that means tornado screw. So when you send them spinning in the air like that, that's a tornado screw. So you would use this move to tornado screw in combos. Now let's look at Soul Zone 4. So Soul Zone 4 is just a power low. I would say it's a power low because it puts him into crouch at +2. So on hit, he's going to mash. And it's going to trade, and I'm still going to get the combo. So they can't actually do anything other than like crouch jab. And then obviously if they're going for crouch jab, you could just do this. But this is good for mashers. Soul Zone 4 is very good. It's also a counter hit launcher. So see, it's also a counter hit launcher, and it tracks both sides. So you actually can't step this either side. It's really good. The only thing I will say is that this move is launch on block, so I wouldn't recommend spamming it too much. Oh, it's not going to block it. Damn. It's block all. So yeah, it's -16 on block. And the last thing I'll say about the move is that it has a lot of active frames. So it can be spaced to be safer. So look, now that was -10. Okay, so now we're going to get into his back turn, which is probably the most intimidating element of Raven. I want to make it simplified. So in back turn, for beginners, I would say his best mid from back turn is back turn back 2-4, because it got buffed in this game to be +2 on hit. previously this was actually 0 on hit in Tekken 7. So you wasn't actually plus after hitting people. So this is more plus on hit and it does more damage. So this instantly is probably his best mid. This is excellent and it jails. So as you can see, it's mid-high, but you can't actually duck the high. So it's pretty busted, I'm not gonna lie. So his back turn jabs. This move is 8 frames, by the way. So it's quicker than your standard 10 frame jab. This is 8 frames, which has an extension. So this move I think is used for interrupting stuff. Like if you know they're gonna do a down forward 1 here. So if you do this and they check with mids, you can interrupt them with this. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If they're doing slow attacks after back turn, you can interrupt with this move. You don't have to commit to back turn 1-4. You can just do back turn 1. And yeah, stay safe. Back turn 2 is mainly used for now because they nerfed this how to hit fishing tool. This is not a combo anymore. But what is good is he has a counter hit G-Clef, which is crazy. 43 damage. So what's going to happen now is he's going to get counter hit. And you can hit confirm G-Clef, which wall splats, by the way. So this move I think is buffed overall. But let's talk about back turn 2-1. So back turn 2-1 is a back turn jab string that has several transitions. So as you saw, you do back turn 2-2, back turn 2-2-1, but back turn 2-1 has a crouch dash transition now, which is new. So you just hold forward after pressing back turn 2-1, back turn 2-1 forward, and then you can do whatever you want. And then he also has back turn 2-1 back. So hold back to stay in back turn. So you can just hold nothing to be in neutral. You can hold back to stay in back turn, or you can crouch dash. And this opens up a lot of mix-up opportunities. So you can get real creative with Raven's mix-ups and back turn stuff. Back turn 1+2. Now this is your move to deter people from mashing buttons, because what's interesting about this game is that they made power crushes so that if it absorbs move, it becomes safe. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to show you. See what I mean? So now he absorbed a move, he's -7, which is safe. Whereas if he just blocked it normally, this would be -13 on block, and I can't block. So this move is really good at deterring people from mashing. So like if I do this and he does a down forward 1 on block, for example. So let's set that. So I'm just going to record it myself. Okay. See how he tried to check me with a mid? So that's why you would use this move, to deter people from mashing. It's just a great move that tracks sidestepping right. Back turn forward 3 is another good mid as well. It's his quickest mid from back turn, and as you can see why, because look at the counter hit animation. So you can get some nice damage. So this is just a nice mid. This also goes into back turn. So it's just a good poke mid. One other move I want to talk about in back turn is back turn 4-4-3, which is a power mid from back turn with good Oki. And yeah, not much else to say about the move. It's just a good power mid. You can do the slide, which is back turn forward 3+4. So, you know, it's a full launcher from either side. So as you can see, that move was -11 at that range. Now that would still launch the opponent, but they can't launch you for it. So it's good to, I guess it's good to throw out every now and then to catch them off guard. But I wouldn't recommend just spamming it because you are going to get launched for it. His best low from back turn now, because back turn down 4 got nerfed, it's -15 on block and it does no damage. So I would refrain from using this move if you can. It's still good to throw out every now and then, but yeah, I don't know. I think this is a better low now. Back turn forward 4. Because it's safe on block.
I saw that.
Same situation as this move.
I saw that.
So it's -9 on block. So yeah, this is just a safe poke. And then he has a string from it as well. So back turn forward 4-1, which is +5 on hit by itself, but you can go into stance, which is +8. So there's a lot of stuff you can do, like for example, they can't mash here. This move is sick. I really like this move. And remember, you don't have to commit. You can just cancel back turn. You don't always have to commit. So yeah, because this move is good by itself. +2 on hit, -9 on block. Now this move, the only thing I will say about this move is if they block here, if they block the low, you have to stay ducking to launch it or punish it. So I'm going to show you. See, because they tried to punish it, they got hit. So I'm going to turn punish off and then do crouch block. See what I mean? So you can be launched for this, but it's still a really good low. Don't be scared about using this. All right, so I'm going to cover heat quickly. So his heat engagers are 1+2. And the heat mechanic is universal. And what I mean by that is whenever you land a heat engager, you're going to be +17. So regardless of what heat engager you're landing, you're always going to be +17 after that kind of run. So we have 1+2, forward 1+2. We have while standing 3+4, which is actually very good in heat, because now you can either do this low, you can do the sweep, or you can do while standing 3+4 and be safe with the heat dash. So that's a nice change. Soul Zone 2 is also a heat engager. It can actually be hit confirmed to be a launcher. So now I'm going to hold forward because I saw it launch, and it's a heat engager or a heat dash launcher. The last one is back turn 4, which is a new move. It's good, but I don't think it's as good as like Soul Zone 3. So I don't really use back turn 4 that much. It's kind of like a really hard read type of move. So it's all right, it's good, but I just think there are better moves in back turn, to be honest. But it is a heat engager, so that's good. I mean, in heat it's kind of good because it's a launcher in heat. So some characters have heat engagers that are not launchers. So Raven's launchers are 1+2. So now I'm going to activate heat. Okay, so 1+2 is a launcher. Soul Zone 2 is a launcher. While standing 3+4 is a launcher. That's why I said it's really good in crouch. The full crouch game with this in heat is crazy. So that's a launcher as well. Back turn 4 is a launcher. So the last one is actually forward 1+2, which isn't a launcher in heat. So just kind of does that spin and you can get like a grounded hit. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that if you land this, you can't launch. Raven has clones, obviously, so he has new strings and stuff. Downfall 1-4, Sozo 1-4, QCF 1-2. Now, the universal change to all of his clone attacks in heat is that they become safe. They become -3. They all become -3. So I'm going to put block on. So every heat attack is going to be -3 on block. And they do loads of chip. Oh, is he crouch blocked? Okay. As you can see, -3. Downfall 1-4, -3. Sozo 1-4, -3. And then QCF 1-2, -3. So yeah, all of his clone attacks will be -3 and do loads of chip damage in heat. So that's a heat power up. So the last things they talk about in heat is while running 3 becomes a launcher if you so choose. So you can press while running 3-4 and it's +7 on block. So that means this is a frame trap. But also on hit, it becomes a launcher. So you can launch off while running 3 now. So that's just his heat mechanic in a nutshell. I don't want to take too long on heat, but yeah, heat mechanic is universal. His clones become -3 and do loads of chip. And his while running 3 becomes a launcher if you want it to become a launcher. So that's his heat. What about combos? Because Raven's combos can seem a little bit weird in Tekken 8, but actually Raven's combos are quite universal. So as I said before, Soul Zone 3-2 is his screw. So this is kind of max damage. You can do other variations of it. If you don't want to do that combo, you can do this one, which is easier. Obviously, it does less damage. Or you can do this one. But they both do less damage than this hard one. So I opt for this one just because it does more damage. But yeah, he does have some hard combos. But if you wanted to do an easier combo, this would be the combo. So I would say the harder combos use QCF 1-2 as a screw attack, and the easier combos use like down back 2-1 into so zone 3-2 as screw attack. So you can kind of substitute these fillers. Usually when you're doing QCF 1-2, you can get more in the combo before screw. Like for example this one, you wouldn't be able to do down back 2-1 so zone 3-2 here. So the only weird launcher I would say is this one now, because you have to do back turn 3 to pick up. But that would be an easy combo. That would be the hard combo. But look at how much more damage it's doing and extra wall carry. So in my opinion, once you start getting comfortable with Raven, I think it's worth kind of learning those harder combos. But for now, you can just stick to down back 2-1, down back 2-1, so 1-3-2. These are just easy combos. Okay, so now we've spoken about combos and kind of B&B fillers and stuff like that. I want to talk about wall combos and what you would do at the wall, because Raven has a few wall combos that you can do. Some are male specific, some are universal, generic. So Raven's wall combos work a little bit more differently than Tekken 7. So it's just a slight bit more awareness. So he still retains this kind of famous combo that Raven has. But after you tornado spin them, like, let's just do this combo, just for argument's sake, and you carry them to the wall after it, and do back turn 3+4, you only get 1+2. So if you hit them after the screw attack, you only get back turn 3+4, 1+2. Or you can go for Oki there. Down back 2 into Oki, or forward 3 back into Oki. So that's the kind of combo you would do if you have to carry them to the wall after the tailspin. So the same applies for if I carry them to the wall with while standing 3-2. Yeah, the same combo will apply. Let's do the combo from here. You're only going to get 1+2. So this would be the second tier of combos, where it's like, it feels like you carry too far, but the system in this game means that you can tailspin at the wall. So if the combo is too far and you tailspin at the wall, you can't get up forward 3+4, forward 2. So I'm going to show you the exact same combo and then do that ender, and you're going to see it doesn't work. So look now. See, they can side roll out of it. So I would have to do 1-2-4 here. Or back 2-2-3. See? Back 2-2-3 only works on male characters, by the way. So it does more damage than 1-2-4, but 1-2-4 works on every character, whereas back 2-2-3 at the wall doesn't work on female characters or waifus. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Look at how much damage that did, 90 damage. So that's the max damage wall combo for males, because I did back turn, back 2-3, and then back 2-2-3. But the reason why this combo works is because you screw them just before they hit the wall. So you see, I screwed them just before they hit the wall, and it allows me to get those extra hits. Whereas if I screw them like, I would say here, let's try and Like, yeah, this combo's not going to work now. See, it's going to drop. In order to get that maximum damage wall combo, you have to kind of tailspin screw them just before the wall. And then this will pop them back up the wall. That's my advice. So if you can pop them back up the wall with this move or this move, you can get the full wall combo. Now, if the screw attack pops them up the wall itself, you can get a tier 2 combo, which would be back turn 3+4, 1-2-4 for generic. And then back turn 3+4, back 2-2-3 for males. Those are Raven's combos. Now, they will take a little bit of kind of getting used to, and the awareness you have to have is quite high, I would say, with Raven's combos, but I don't think they're that hard. It's just practice and just knowing like where the wall is, knowing your stage sizes and stuff. So Raven is a complicated character, but I hope I made the character a little bit more digestible for you. I tried to just break down his stances, his neutral, his combos, his wall combos and stuff. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I will do an advanced guide, and I will have like a series of Raven guides later on in the game's lifespan. It's just because, you know, it's kind of release day or day 2. It's everyone's trying to do content. I'm just trying to get the beginner stuff out first so that everyone can get into the character, and then the advanced stuff will come later on when I've had some more time to digest the character and play Victor and other characters and stuff. So stay tuned for that advanced stuff, but I hope you enjoyed. Peace.